Wow.
What's going on inside that building there is so super secretive that they forced me and every single member of the crew to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. And that's to protect some of the technology, world-class technology that's being built inside. You ready?
Yep.
And that's the reason that we're here today. Is that we're going to use this facility to take our design off of Mark's computer screen and make it real. We're actually going to make it semi-real, because here I'm going to build a life-size clay model. See, the thing about cars is design, it's about the way it feels, the way it sits, and you can't get that from a hypothetical computer screen. You can only get that with a car by making it, standing next to it, seeing how it sits on the road, whether it has presence, whether the lines are right, whether the proportions are correct. And the only real way to do that before committing to physically making the car is to make a model. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Life-size toy model from clay. Now, clay is pretty much the industry standard. In some design houses, particularly in Italy, and I don't really know why, because it creates lots of dust, use plaster of Paris. Most OEMs use this clay, and the reason why clay is so good is that it doesn't create any dust, plus it can be manipulated, it can be reshaped. So if you imagine every single new car on the road today has gone from the designer's head onto a computer screen, from the computer screen into a life-size clay model, so that teams and teams of people can walk around it, give it to focus groups, forums, before they commit to pressing go. Because the moment they press go on a production car, they're committing to millions and millions of dollars. Unfortunately, Radford needs to do the same.
The craft of shaping cars in life size is an art that escapes the computer and relies on skill and subtle human senses.
Now remember, this is merely a design exercise. It's about the skin of the car, the A surface. And at this stage, we don't really care about what's inside. But when you consider the volume of a car is actually quite large, it's a lot of square inches. And we need to take up as much of that volume as possible. And that's why foam is so good, because it's light, it's strong, and it fills the space. Once we've cut it, it's on top of the foam that we can lay our clay. And what we're going to do now is take the data, send it to the brain of the mill, and it's going to control this huge gantry down to this end bit, which spins super fast, cutting through the foam until it gets down to the shape of our car. This is so exciting. The foam is undercut, and the mill has been working in our absence. Oh!
A little bit speechless.
Are you?
It's lovely working on something, working with you guys on this fantastic project, but you never really know if it's going to happen or not until you see it.
At the moment, this is an undercut, so the foam is 25 millimeters undersized. So we need to add more than 25 millimeters worth of clay, then it will go back in the mill for a more fine pass, and there is only one way to add clay.
How's that?
You're going to need gloves.
Really?
Yeah.
The clay is left in hot ovens to soften it,
Just start at the front and fill it, buddy.
which makes it easy to spread onto the foam. And the gloves prevent Ant and JB from burning their hands.
This is possibly the first time in Jenson's history he's actually done some hard work for a living.
The Canadian Grand Prix 2011, 4-hour race. I mean, there you go.
It takes a couple of days to spread the clay over the entire foam structure. It's then left to settle and harden, and then the whole lot is placed back into the mill for another pass. Only this time, the computer adjusts it by 25 millimeters to now give us our eventual and final outer shape. From idea to reality, there she is. A supercar is born.